lesson 67. As you can see, we're in the Explanar Indoor Golf Centre and I'm surrounded by lots of equipment. I've got my Explanar, I've got my GC2 swing simulator, and a recent addition is this putting green. Now I've been looking around for a long time to find a putting green that does the job. And this is the Welling putt mat, and it's a 26-foot mat and it's resting on a plywood marine ply base. So it's a very, very true surface. And it's not just a mat to putt on, there are lots of skills tests as well. So you can see the central line going down to the target hole, but lots of other lines that allow you to practice putts at different lengths from different angles. If you look down on the mat here, you can see this black crescent that's behind this hole, and there's a yellow crescent behind the hole in the distance. And again, it's the skill of getting the ball not just into the hole, but if you miss the hole, the pace would probably go to where the segment of orange mat is. So it's teaching you to get the pace of the putt right, but if you're going to miss the putt, to miss it just past the hole. Because as we know, it's when a putt slows that it deviates. So by going a little bit past the hole, hopefully we're going to the ball's going to catch the hole on a higher number of occasions. So this is an introductory piece to putting, and I expect you guys at home watching this, if you're a club golfer, let's suppose you're someone that shoots in the high 80s to the low 90s, you're a competent golfer, you get the ball around the golf course nicely, off about 18-20 handicap, but with that scenario, 35% of your shots are going to be putting. So a 90 shooter might have 30 putts. So it's a part of the game that can be overlooked, so we can get lazy, but if we can take a little bit of care, a little bit of time, we can make some big inroads. And again, if you play a hole well and you drive the ball into the fairway and hit the green regulation, it knocks the stuffing out of you if you then three putt. A good long game has to be backed up by a good short game. So having placed the ball on the starting point here, you can see the white line tracking down to the target in the distance. Now the golf ball is going to go where the putter face aims. Now if I hang my putter up here and I use a golf ball and I tap the putter in the toe, you can hear and see that there's a rather clunky noise where the face is twisting. Conversely, if I hit the ball out of the heel of the putter, you're getting a vibration and a twisting. But when you hit the ball in the sweet spot, which isn't always the centre of the blade, the sweet spot can vary, but when you catch the ball in the sweet spot, you can hear the difference. There's a higher moment of inertia, there's more mass, so that makes your putting more solid. Alright, so let's just show you that. I present the putter behind the ball, and you can see that the white line in the middle of my ping putter is going down the target line. I then take my grip and then take my stance. Now I look at the hole, my body has computed the distance, all I'm responsible for is making the ball roll end over end. You can see I've just hit a little bit left of the line, but it's just caught the hole, and that's a 20-foot putt. So what I hope I've shown you is that the ball is going to start where the club face aims. And one of the big faults that club golfers make is they walk onto a green, take not too much notice of what's around them, and they do this, and then they look at the hole. Well, that's rather strange. You know, if I had a rifle, if I aimed my rifle before I found my target, I think that'd be strange. I've got to find my target before I aim my rifle. So don't fall into that trap. Don't walk onto a putting green and just look at the ball and the putter head and then look. It's really quite important to have a couple of looks up here using both eyes. I'm visualizing a line. Indoors I've actually got a line. Now, having looked at the target, I can then present the club appropriately. And you find then that the putting regime is just a miniature version of your long game. You're going to build your posture and your alignment and your ball position around the club. So under pressure, the club doesn't melt, it's a constant, and use the structure of the club as you lead. So I step in, slightly open, I look at the target a couple of times and I cross-refer until I'm comfortable that I've got my club face pointing correctly. I then build my grip, and that gives me a shoulder line, and I plant my feet. So my onboard computer knows how hard to hit it. I've just got to watch the ball being struck. And you can see that was a pretty solid putt as well. So I hold both those putts. Didn't go dead straight, but they were sufficiently accurate to drop into the hole. So just have a look at that again. It's the simple things that can confuse us in golf. So look at the hole first, aim the club face, build the grip and take the stance. Now, when I was a youngster, I was told that you should have the ball to the left of centre, and the idea being of that was that it get you to catch the ball on the up and impart topspin. Well, there's no such thing as topspin in putting. You can make a snooker ball slip on the bays, but the best you can get with a golf ball is one roll per circumference. So you can't topspin a putt, but you're looking to roll a putt. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to have the face of the putter between your feet, because that's the base of the arc, and the ball that will therefore just be left of that centre line. Okay, so just watch that. In fact, I'll turn to you so you can see it from this way on. So I aim the putter face. Okay, in fact I'll move the ball, I'll use this white line. Okay. So you can see that the putter face is on the centre point and the ball's just to the left of it. I think you can appreciate that if the ball's in the middle of the feet, then the putter head would still be on a slightly downward journey. So the optimum journey is to have the putter face just behind the ball and the putter face dead between the feet. So that's a very square place. I think you can see that if I move the ball forward, I could also misalign my shoulders. Okay, so there we go. And this also applies for chipping. Play the majority of chips with the blade of the club between the feet, because that's where the base of the arc is, so that when on a bare surface when you're chipping, you can deal with it. There's no problem putting off a hard surface, because the base of the arc between the feet and you make the ball roll. But the same principles apply for chipping. Okay, so we've got a sequence already. We aim the face as best we can, aligning the sweet spot with the back of the ball. We have to lean forward to allow the arms to hang comfortably, and then we plant the feet. Now, that's the mechanical bit, that's all the thought process. I've just left with one task, to roll the ball the correct distance. And you can see on that one I tugged it slightly and missed the ball a fraction to the left. So, hopefully that makes sense. Look at your target before you aim your gun. Look at the hole before you try and aim the putter. Once you've presented the putter, you lean forward and you build your grip. The grip leads to a good shoulder line, and if your shoulder line is good, then your feet line, your toe line should also be parallel. And you then trust that the face of the putter is between the feet at the base of the arc and not the ball. Once you set up, clear the mind and just work on your distance control.